Well, with all of that said, I will now have the honor to introduce our first keynote speaker of today, Vinod Bidwaik, the CHRO and Group Director of Human Resource, People and Culture, AP Global and Sakal Media Group. Vinod Bidwaik is a transformational HR leader with a proven track record of driving large-scale business impact by turning around HR and business practices. With extensive cross-industry experience in both Indian and global organizations, he has successfully led cultural and organizational transformations that foster agile, value-driven, and future-ready teams. Bidwaik's core strength lies in aligning people's strategy with business objectives through talent transformation, leadership development, and capital building. He has played a pivotal role in redesigning organizations, launching internal universities for reskilling, and cultivating a strong culture of trust, performance, and innovation. His strategic vision and people-centric approach consistently enable sustainable growth and organizational excellence. Today, he will be speaking on the topic of the role of CHROs in driving digital transformation. Mr. Bidwaik, if I could please have you on stage.
Very good morning. How is the mood today? Very good. Thank you for that. So I have 20 minutes and then we will have a 5 minutes question and answer session. So I will touch upon a few points about what is the role of HR specifically in digital transformation. And digital transformation, perhaps it is not new for us. For last many years we are discussing. The only addition is artificial intelligence and machine learning right now. I am listening for last 10 years and every organization is focusing on digital transformation. What exactly it is? What are the challenges we are facing in the organization? How to work upon with the CEOs and business leaders? How to influence, because it is about the people. Every digital transformation, every digital process, it is not only about the software. It is not about the systems what we are putting in the place. It is about the customer. It is the end customer. And it is about the human being. Most of the time my experience is that we forget that human angle in the system. We forget that the human touch in the systems. So it's like a bank, you know. Few years back they started the IVRS where human connection is totally lost. And then we know how it happens, what is our experience about the banks. But that is their business model. In organizations where there are high stakes involved, specifically in technology or product engineering companies where human dimensions are very important. So we should not forget about any digital transformation. There are 2 points and 2 imperatives of any digital transformation. One is every digital transformation should have this center point of any digital transformation, any system update should be the customer in the center. And we should weave upon our system around that. It is internal and it is external. So I would like to touch upon few points during next 20 minutes about and these are my own experiences and examples. What I did in different organizations about digital transformation specifically while implementing, and there are 2 imperatives to that. Let's focus how it works. So it is 2 ways we should look as a CHRO or HR head, and it's not about the CHRO head set, it's the HR business partnering. It is the down the level HR person, he or she also play a major role in HR transformations, in digital transformation. So it is one is about the building HR digital muscle. Because when we are asking the people that what is your digital muscle, your own digital muscle, then we will be able to enable the business. We will be able to facilitate the digital transformation in the organization. So first, it is internalizing the digital transformation for us as a human professionals, HR professionals, and then it is about the business. So how we are enabling or facilitating the digital transformation in the organization. So we'll speak about these two dimensions or two imperatives of the digital transformation. Everybody knows it started a few years back about, and there are a lot of confusion nowadays. What is AI? What is machine learning? Many professionals nowadays are using the ChatGPT. Our language skills has improved a lot. I see many emails, perhaps some, few people even don't take the efforts to delete that, let me know you would like to convert this something. And I am impressed by the emails specifically written by the people. And there, you are just sitting next door there and you are sending, hope you are well, all this mechanics coming into the email. It is a Victorian English. And sometimes I also give the prompt that please make some mistakes in the, so that it looks a human, written by the human, something like that. So there are some tactics we should use. What is AI? What is digital transformation exactly meaning? Few years back, it was digitalization, the people used to speak. And digitalization is not an automation. Automation is not a AI. AI is not a machine learning. There's a huge difference. What we should know what is the impact those technologies are making to the business and ultimately the human being. Business, what is the purpose of the business? Many organizations say the purpose of the business is profit, but perhaps it is not. Purpose of any business is to make the impact, to solve the problem of the customers, and then thereby you get the money. So it's the journey. A journey starts with the digitalization, and many organizations focus about that. Like in our organization, we don't have any papers. We are into newspaper, we publish papers, we have digital footprint, we have television, we have event and exhibitions. But primary in the organization, within the organization, we don't use papers. It's a paperless office. Even the reporters who files these stories, it is through the system. They don't write. On earlier days, they used to write. Today, they type and they send. It's the technology what we are using. And same applies for the HR. So how we are able to build a digital muscle in the organization is very important. And it starts from digitalization to automation. I was giving the example to Sudhir that few years back in my earlier organization, probation confirmation is one of the clause in every organization have. In my organization, I eliminated that clause. It doesn't matter, how 6-month probation and all these things. That is an unnecessary non-value added process. And there are almost 200 people every month in a bigger organization. So HR has to make a letter, they have to do the assessment and all these things. In my earlier organization, I automated this process. The HR business partner, the manager used to give the prompt, used to get the notification, the assessment, the discussion, and finally the letter used to enter in his inbox. Very simple processes. That is also the non-value added. Now in this organization, I totally eliminated that process. So digitalization works on few imperatives. One is about your standardization, simplification, and systematic. These are the three imperatives of any digital transformation we should work upon. So are our processes supporting those? Because digital transformation not necessarily only system, you have to standardize the process. You have to simplify the process because in system there may be many errors. So that are the things we need to work. And here comes from automation, from digitalization to automation, and then artificial intelligence like algorithm, predictive analysis that how many people are going to live within next 3 months, that sort of things. The decision making matrix. Data analytics is important thing, but data analytics is not important thing. The decision, the mindset, the wisdom from that data is very important. And that's the role of digital transformation in any organization has to work. How we can align? First thing first is that we need to identify the problem of the organization. In HR itself, most of the time there are unnecessary things. Why? And we should start asking the questions. In any organization, when I join, my team used to give, "Yahan to aisa hi chalta hai." It's decided. No, who decided? They don't know who decided because it is carry forward. There are many practices we need to stop, either challenge during the digitalization process. So it starts with stakeholder management, aligning with the specifically a technology chief or operation chief that what is the needed for the organization. Sometimes there are a lot of push from the market that, you know, and there are stalls here that, you know, we have software, and then we actually carried away with that Me Too things that our peer group companies are doing, we should also do the transformation, or we should also implement some software. First question is, do we really need that? And if we need, at what extent we need that? That is the question we need to ask, and for that we need to have the right teaming with the technology team, that what is the right approach in the organization we need to take. Comes the, you know, futures. I am looking to the digital transformation not about only the implementation of digital things. I am looking towards as the what are the roles HR need to work in a digital transformation. Like for example, artificial intelligence. Are we equipped to hire the right people in the artificial intelligence? Sometimes our recruiters are also not aware about that. They will, but we need a machine learning expert having 10 years of experience. If machine learning India mein aaya kab? How it is possible having a 20 years experience for that? So that sort of things happening around the industries. So what is the clear thing we want to implement? We should be clear. So it is about, I am looking towards as a developing the workforce plan rather than focusing on only the digital transformation. Do we have right people in the organization? Do we have the right roles in the digital transformation? Do we need, a few years back, there was a ERP implementation in many organizations like SAP, Workday, SuccessFactors, or, you know, Oracle. And that time it was a bigger challenge because that need extra efforts. So do we have right people to use that? One is users. Second is how to manage the segregation of duties, how to manage the conflicts within the team. Specifically in multinational organizations, this concept is very clear that the person who is doing the job, he or she should not approve that. They call as a segregation of duties, and there should not be conflict. That for example, if the person is negotiating, he should not be the approving authority in the process. So system takes care of that. For that system is necessary. In one of the largest automobile company where I was working, they only implemented the ERP, SAP that time to just find out the leakages in the organization. The purpose was very clear that the leakages in the organization in terms of sourcing, in terms of production processes and all these things. That was the clear purpose. So we should be very clear what is the purpose of any digital transformation. For the sake of digital transformation, it will not work specifically. And it starts with a digital knowledge, creating a digital. For example, what is the right things to do? And everybody is there. There are many professions where digital will complement. The technology is there to complement, to improve the productivity rather than replacing the job. So it is the dexterity. What are the smaller nuances of the digital technology people are using? Are we training them? Are we developing them in the process? What is the learning angle to that? And it is not about only a training program. We need to integrate our digital transformation process in our day-to-day things. Like what we are doing today is, everybody is doing, is a ChatGPT, usage of ChatGPT. But it is a smart usage of ChatGPT. But ChatGPT is one of the example. Can we train our employees in HR team, in recruiter, that to use the ChatGPT in the automation process? There are many rules, there are software, there are coding and everything ChatGPT does. But how you are developing your own learning models, your language models in terms of internally, in any process, it can be sales. And you already may have some processes like today we are in 20th century where digitalization and automation I think should be the first things every organization must have done. So maybe you may have CRM, you may have total HRIS systems in your organization. Now use that to the next level of the automation and machine learning process. Skilling and reskilling is very important. And it is not about the age and experiences in the organization. I have many examples where people are nowadays, I represent a company where is a legacy company having almost 92 years old company. And whenever I take proud, always say that I work in the companies that are very long in the industries. My earlier organization, 150 years. Before that, one of the multinational I worked, it was 120 years, 92 years. So it is a legacy what we are calling. And there may be the process in the organization where people are very comfortable with. How we are actually working on the change management process is very crucial. And ultimately it starts with the leadership. It is not about the people in the organization, it is the leadership. If they have a right agenda, then it will work, otherwise it will not work. And what we are doing in our organization, we started one of the initiatives 2 years back about Digishala. It is just open forums. There are labs, there are test labs, there are people, there are webinars. Whatsoever in the organization, it's our stakeholders, employees, our strangers. Strangers means what you use nowadays is a gig economy. We have almost 5,000 people working with us as a part-timers who actually file the news every day from all over Maharashtra and Goa. So they are gig workers, and this process is for long, almost 30, 40 years we started. So nowadays we are calling them as a gig worker. So they can also attend this and learn their digital dexterity. So that's one of the initiative what we started, and it's have an amazing result. Let me tell you, our productivity for last, in terms of revenue, because we should, productivity is one term of the revenues is improved almost 20% year by year. 20% revenue, 23% bottom line because of all these change management initiatives including digitalization. Change management is very important, and for that it's people will not use any system unless they are not convinced. I have some failures in the organization where we implemented one system, people never use that. We need to compel them to use, like banks do. You know, internet banking, we are forced to use that. They discourage customers to visit their branches, right? That's how it should work. That the people should see the value going to there, and it should relate to them that it is important for them. And when it start with using when it is linked to their KRAs, their business performance, and day-to-day matters, like simple example in HR is about their attendance is affected, then definitely they are forced. Their KRAs are affected, they are forced to use that. So that adoption in digital transformation is very important. Communication is important. Why we are doing this? There are many HR initiatives, there are many things, there are many processes which are non-value added. We should start challenging those processes. Like an example I gave, why we need a probation, and I already stopped this in my organization. Anyways, that is the other way around. It is a talent market nowadays. It is not an employer market. And anyway, you can fire everybody, within there is a clause. So why this probation in India came through the labor laws. And that's how it is important that we need to challenge those processes. Leverage the leadership. Employee experience is very important in any external or internal HR processes. So focus on that personal learning path, and many things we can focus. Human touch, I already spoke about, is very important. And finally, it is, you know, in any transformation journey, it is very important to understand that any digitalization, automation or AI, whatsoever uses, it should complement to your job. You should not replace. Replacement, displacement of job will be there, but then it is about our skilling and reskilling things. So that we need to understand. Workforce changes. I earlier also said that digital transformation is not about the system itself. It is about the understanding what is our workforce patterns to next 2-3 years. What are the roles will be available? What are the roles we need to work as a HR? What are those areas where we need to work, and how we can manage those change management aspect? Ethical use anyways is very important nowadays. MNCs are GDPR, and in government of India also put that the data security rule in the parliament. Partner with the leaders about the future work policies, because your policies will also change. Like I said, there are many policies which really we don't need. Our HR book should be very simple policy, one pager only. People should understand that. I was giving the demo to Sudhir that how we can use the policy, people should given on the fingertip. And HR role is not in a decision making things, it is for making a digital muscle for them, but other department it should be team up or facilitate the process with the change management, with the role, with the right hiring, all those aspects. I will give, and I will take only 2 minutes further, is about the what we are doing in the organization. I told our office is totally paperless. All the functions in Sakar Media Group and AP Global are paperless. We don't use papers or offer letters, appointment letters, and it's aligned with the sustainability. Almost for last few years, we are not using any papers. We are not signing documents. It's a totally digital embedded papers. 65% HR job we need to automate, transitional job. Like in our organization, HR business partner always used to get the queries, transitional job. When we implemented system, it's hardly 10-20%. Now HR people are not getting any queries because that are solved by the chatbots and system. Whatever information they need, it is available on the system. So we need to automate those processes or either made redundant those processes or work upon to that. Real-time performance people would like to understand, and that check-in in the system, what is the target. We integrated this sales people with our sales force, and automatically every visit and customer, they can see on the system that how many calls they had done, what is the performance, specifically in the number focus areas. In support function and back offices, it's still a challenge because there are few are more qualitative things. Digishala, I explained, transparent change management leadership. We start with the leadership, and our leadership has enrolled for the courses. Our CXOs or CEOs in the organization, they first enroll and they say that I enroll for this course, let's do along with that. And that actually gives the, is a role modeling happening in the organization. And personalized career path, because 3 major factors is the employees retention. One is about their career development, second is about their culture of the organization, and third is about manager and leadership. These are the things. Compensation comes later. If you focus on those three areas, it will definitely, the retention is possible. And that's how people would like to see in the screen that what is the manager feedback, are there transparent open system, and many things around the organization. So I already explained this, how the journey started. Finally, this one of the thing I have covered many aspects in the book, what I written, the executive trap, how transformation happens in the organization, and what are the change management initiatives the HR leaders face. So CHRO must lead the transformation to build the resilient future ready workforce. I am again focusing more on the workforce rather on the system. Thank you so much. Should I take any questions, 1 or 2 questions? Yeah.
She has a question.
Yeah, please.
Thank you, CHRO, first of all, for having us here and for taking this question. So the question is, of course, change is constant, right? And at the same point in time, we all, after an era and another era, we go through the transformation. Just like we had printing press earlier, then the digital press came, right? So similarly, right now we have AI. So how do you, of course, ensure that the psychological safety of employees is there to make sure they are not threatened with the job security, because that is the basic fundamental of the employee and the employer relationship. So that is the question. Of course, engagement survey is one of it, that we can always look up to, and I think most organizations do that as well. So yeah, if that is, if you can, share maybe key to 1 or 2.
So this is a journey, and we need to propagate in the organization that how you are relevant in the organization. And that's why workforce planning is very important. That we need to communicate in the organization that by this any initiative, it can be digital, it can be restructuring, it can be redesign of the organization, that the roles will be there provided how you are suitable to that. And that's how learning and relearning is very important. So we have to keep that the purpose of any initiative is not about the firing and making the people redundant. It is about the future. And if there are people who are willing to learn, they will be in the system. So it's creating, it is not about the job itself, because people will have the insecurities. We have to take away those insecurities. If really you are there, if you are really relevant to the organization, you will be there. It is about the mindset. And in the process, there may be the people who don't want to change. So that we can't help anything. Sometimes the organization needs the flow. We need the right iteration. We need to take restructuring. Why restructuring most of the MNCs do? That is because the flow. Then you have to put the shark in the tank, and that's how the performance happens. So we have to, many organizations do this because of psychology. Their intention is not about the making redundant the people. It is about how we are the competent in the organization, how we are relevant to the organization, and particularly role. People who are learning ability or learning agility, what is SAGE, is very important. And I will give follow the model where you can assess the people learning agility. There is a model how you can, there are psychometric tests and all these things. So follow that. If in your organization people have a good learning agility, then anyway they will be there in the organization. So we do in the similar way. I hope I answered you. Yeah. Go ahead.
You're talking to me, right? Sorry, I thought there's someone in the back. Okay, my question to you is that you said probation is not required, that's point one. But a lot of time at early stage, we are clear that this kind of a person won't be the right fit for the company, right? That we analyze during first 3 months or 6 months, whatever the case is. How do you analyze that? Obviously, later the performance issue or whatever other issues, we might ask them to leave the organization, but you don't see that's a starting gateway where you actually ask people not to work. That's point one. Point two, how one-page policy actually works. Like, let's take an example. There's a huge workforce. How with just a one-pager people will get a better idea? Can you put some light on this? Thank you.
That's the innovation we need to do. That's the HR job. Problem is there, how you are going to solve. And we are focusing too much on a problem. We need to focus on the solution. I will give the first answer of first question. It was about the probation. Yeah. We need to, our hiring process should be strong. If you take care of that, then definitely it will work. And you do the research. Within last 5 years, how many people you actually terminated during that probation period? You may have the data. Take a decision based on the data. If you have done only 5% or 2% extension or termination then it doesn't matter, right? So first is your hiring process, second is data. Do the research that how many years, how many people. In most of the areas, 100% confirmation. Okay, so that is one of the angle to that. Policies, there are too much jargons and too much words we would legally want to be a legally things. Your legal document can be different, but policy to understanding what is in it for me. Ask this 5W and 1H question, put the policy in terms in a simple one pager. We did that and we had an amazing feedback from the employees. They said that, really we don't know what exactly need to be done. So that way, your legal document, multiple posh policy, 20, 25 pages could work. It can be outside. And how many cases comes into that? So that anyway, legal processing is totally different. But understanding for the people what is in it for them, it can be done in one pager.
Understood. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Vinod. I request you to stay back, and I'd like to call on stage Mr. Om Prakash to please felicitate Mr. Vinod.
Yeah, so I have one question here. Before we felicitate. Hi, so I'm Shayantini. I just wanted to ask you, so before this, so now you're with the digital organization, but before this you were with the manufacturing sector, right? How did you measure the ROI of learning and put it across to the board, or especially the CXOs, to say that, learning did fetch you the ROI?
Good question. I think last week or maybe a few days back, I was in the same room discussing about that. There are three things in any learning. One is mindset change, which is behavioral training. Second is about giving the tool set like Advanced Excel, Power BI and all these things. And third is about skill set. Like Dale Carnegie does the training program on high impact presentation, and there's a signature program is very popular. They actually teach you how to stand, how to do the voice modulation. So what happened mostly, it's very difficult in mindset change because behavior is totally different. ROI is possible to measure in your skill set and tool set programs. And that gives the immediate results as a low hanging fruit. To initially start with that okay, you give the Power BI training, what is the productivity improved? With the training to AI, what is the productivity improved? Some behavioral change, for example, coaching model, you give the tool set of model, that GROW model for example, or Oscar model, or is there any improvement change? So it's slowly start there, and then maybe over a period of time focus on the ROI in terms of the behavioral training program change, that what is the productivity. You can link that and we can take this discussion offline, I think, because
Absolutely. So I just want to check with you because what happens is, at the end of the day, while it takes time, right, for a mindset change, and you understand that, right? When we talk about growth mindset, when we talk about agility, when we talk about resilience, a lot of people, they get back to work. So it's very difficult to keep people aligned or probably reinforce people with the same training. So how long did it take you to keep that mindset change, especially in the manufacturing sector? Because what happens with traditional industries, again, you understand, you have been there, that a lot of people focus on the work. They feel that technical skills are much more important than probably a digital one, right? How do you go about it?
It takes almost 6 months, provided there is a continuous learning process. So it is not only 2 days workshop or 1 day workshop.
It doesn't help. Yeah.
What I started, and it worked well in many organizations, about the learning labs. For example, if we train somebody on a coaching model, we implemented coaching lab. And there is a pair across the organization, they have to take that sheet, and in any meetings and everything, they should have, go through the process of coaching lab. So we have to integrate all learning initiatives in day-to-day processes. It is not about only one-time activity.
Absolutely.
With e-learning modules or classroom trainings, we have to integrate that. For example, meetings. In meetings, how to conduct the effective meetings, or maybe how to give the feedback. There should be some learning in the meeting itself, and that's how it's the learning and development expert should come with the innovative and creative
constant
ideas.
reinforcement.
Yes.
Sure, we take it offline. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Could we please have a big round of applause for Mr. Vinod?
Good. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.